Hey y'all, welcome. If you're new here, welcome back. If you're not, I'm coming to you from my bed after, what, 2 years? 3 years? 2 years? I don't know. Of a hiatus from YouTube. And I am planning to relaunch my channel, so I thought I owed you an explanation of where I've been. In 2021, I think is when I stopped posting. Life just got overwhelming. I was still dealing with long COVID stuff. I was really in the thick of it at that point, trying to figure out, do I stay in Colorado? Do I move somewhere else that's a lower elevation that would help my lung function? Was dealing with work. I was, trying to figure out how to manage life as someone that has these new limitations. Are they going to stick around? Can I get rid of them? Like, what can I do to take care of myself so that I can get better? And YouTube seemed like the low-hanging fruit. Like, it was something that I was doing, and I think I was putting too much effort into, as odd as that sounds. Yeah, so it was the low-hanging fruit that I was just like, I can just stop doing that. Probably should have, like, gave you guys an explanation of why I was stepping away, but life was lifing. In the last few years, I've still been dealing with long COVID. And it's been a roller coaster. That's the only way that I can describe it. There have been moments where I feel like I'm getting better. I'm able to do things. I'll, take a road trip. I'll go see friends. I'll, go for long walks. And then, my body gets stressed. Something happens. And I'm back in bed again. As a matter of fact, I spent most of 2024 right here. My symptoms that persist: fatigue, asthma. I've had like marathon headaches that have lasted like 17 days. I have joint pain, tinnitus. New on the scene is I have these like anxiety attacks that come out of nowhere, and I'm not quite sure why. So apparently that's a thing with COVID or long COVID as well. And just a bunch of other stuff, like the burning sensation in my back, dysautonomia, like just all the things. It's very frustrating. Um, but I'd been managing it. Like, I'd been figuring out, how do I work, because I need to work to pay my bills, but still manage my health, go to the doctor, do all the things that I need to do. I'd been doing okay with it. Still kind of doing that, but managing until this year. And if you hear some of my family talk about it, they're actually impressed that it took this long for me to hit the wall. And what happened is that earlier this year, I had a friend that I had been, like, a friend that I'd known for like 20 years almost, pass away just unexpectedly. And I ran headlong into a wall of grief like I haven't in a very, very long time. And it was just like all of it just piled on me. Like her death, my dealing with long COVID, not knowing if I'm going to get better, work stressing me out, chronic fatigue crashes happening on a weekly basis where I would, like, if you have chronic fatigue, you know this, but like, you have things you want to do. Like, there are places you want to go and, things that you need to do, but you can't stay awake. And it hits wherever. At that time, I thought there was no rhyme or reason to it, but like, I'd be out somewhere and praying that I could make it home and crash here because I could already feel the symptoms happening. So it was just a lot. And I'd been in counseling for a year and a half at that point, and the people around me started noticing the signs of depression, and really just challenged me. They were like, you need to stop. Like, you have to just stop. You have to rest. You have to let your body heal, listen to it, what it's trying to tell you, because right now it's telling you that there's too much. And I had to make that decision to take yet another medical leave of absence from work, and participate in an outpatient program. It's a grief and loss focus, which was a blessing. It was just a godsend, because I think that the things that I learned, the perspectives that I gained, and even just like sometimes just a video that we watched really hit home and caused me to sit in some uncomfortable emotions about my situation that I had not wanted to before, because I was so focused on getting better. And I still don't want to say like this is going to be my life forever. I am still pursuing healing and things like that, but also realizing that I have limitations now, but those limitations don't mean that I can't live. And that's kind of where I'd gotten to, where I decided that because my life was so drastically different, like I wasn't able to do all of the things that I used to do that brought me so much joy, whether that was going to the gym, swimming, camping, hiking, road trips, traveling, all of that stuff. Just because I couldn't do it the way that I used to do it doesn't mean that I can't do those things still. And those things are really good for me because they're a part of just what brings me joy. So through that IOP, I learned a lot, and I think I grew a lot, some of which I really want to share on this channel moving forward, just because I think that those things can help other people. But I also, in that time period, decided that I was going to switch the hospital that I was going to for my long COVID care from one hospital system to another, just because the old one was really focusing just on my pulmonary issues. They were just focusing on my asthma, and I'm like, there's this whole glob of grossness that I'm still dealing with, and you're not doing anything with it. So I switched from one hospital system to another, and it's been so good. The doctor that I got in with, it took several people referring me to her, but I did get in within like a month. Looks at your long COVID comprehensively, and she was sharing information that they're learning from research that I hadn't heard. Like, there are markers that are visible, and if you're like looking for them, you can actually see before a crash happens. So I know that if I have these things that are happening, if I haven't been pacing and this, that, and the other, and I start feeling a certain way, that means a crash is imminent. Don't go anywhere. Like, it's so simple, but yet it was something that I couldn't figure out on my own. So going to her has been really helpful because I got to participate in a clinical trial, which was pretty awesome. Can't give any details about that right now, but was it helpful? No. I joke that I got the placebo. So we'll see what happens. They will start reporting on it next year. And she has been managing my asthma in a way that has been very different. She's looking at different things and trying to figure out what the triggers are. How can we get ahead of it rather than just managing it? And then just looking at just some of my functional stuff. So she's referred me to a couple physical therapists, one of which really focused on behavior, and the other one focused on the physiology of some of the things that are going on. Definitely going to talk about that a little bit more, just because I think that moving forward it's going to be a part of my life, because there are things that make sense even for people that don't deal with chronic illness, like simplifying your life. That is something that I did not get, but even just taking the energy out of making decisions about things like eating, which has become a problem. I just don't, because it's too much. And then the clothes that you wear, just different things like that, which we hear about, the geniuses that wear the same shirt and pants to work every day, or the people that have meal prep doing, I can't do meal prep. Cannot, because it's a lot of work on the front end and I crash afterwards, so no. But figuring out how to do that in a way that makes eating simpler is one of the things that we've been working on. So there's a lot that, moving forward, I think it would be really great to share on this channel, not only for people that are dealing with chronic illness, like I said, but also just for people that are seeking to live better, people that are seeking, to live within any limitation that you may have, that you may be facing. I think that I have a lot to learn. Just as I try to walk this out in 2025, I would love for you to come along on the journey. Yeah, that's about it. So I promise, I don't know if I can promise that. I will try not to just disappear in the future, but really, just do better at pacing myself and sharing my journey in a way that is sustainable. All right, well, that's all I have for today. So I hope to see you in the next video.